My name is Leslie Brooks. So what do I do for a living? I like to say I'm a retired model. So I modeled for about 20 years, and now I'm still with an agency, Sigil Agency here in Columbus. But I just sort of do lifestyle modeling. So I'll get jobs for like orthopedic surgeons who need to do my knee or my hand. Couple commercials lately, shot one with my son. That was really cute. But my biggest job is raising 3 children. So they're 13, 11, and 7. And that keeps me extremely busy. I graduated high school, I went to college, I got married. So I feel like I did all of those things in a nice, normal steps that you're supposed to do. And it really wasn't until my 30s that I was faced with some really tragic events that I would say have shaped me, especially in the last few years. In 2010, my only sibling, my brother, passed away in his sleep after years of struggling with addiction. And he lived a really fast life. He was very successful, the smartest guy I knew, but had a lot of things he was working on. And that was really hard. It was tragic, but it wasn't shocking. So, to all of a sudden have him not in my life anymore was huge. And prior to that happening, I think I was really afraid of a lot of things in life. And after it happening, and I don't know if this is normal or not, but I really became more, you always hear life is precious and this isn't a dress rehearsal. But I truly, it can come and go in a flash. I mean, he was 32 years old. So everything he'd done up at that point, none of it really mattered at the end. I mean, he is just no longer with us. And the good things, the bad things, so it was kind of like I had this epiphany that just the little stuff doesn't matter. You always hear that, don't sweat the small stuff. But I truly wasn't living that way until I lost him. So I just try now to focus on the good, and understand that every single person has got something going on in their life. What it's also made me do is be really kind to strangers. I think how I encourage women, hopefully, is just in how I live my life every day. I have 2 almost teenagers, and I want them to see that whatever I decide to do, I can do. I'm very involved in social media platforms, and I try to make sure I'm encouraging other women that way. There's so much nastiness online, especially with women cutting down other women. It's just uncalled for. And there's no reason for us to compete with each other. Our biggest cheerleaders should be each other. So for me, if I can see somebody and tweet them something nice, or on Facebook, tell them how proud I am of them, just those little things. It's not changing the world, but I definitely think just making sure we know that we're there for each other as opposed to cutting each other down. I just try to live my life that, I treat people like I would treat a sister or my mom. And, so many people don't do that. There's so much rudeness in this world that, I think just extending a little extra kindness to people can make a difference. Yeah, having 2 daughters, especially almost teenage daughters, obviously I was there, and I really just try to help them remember a few things. One is, what they say matters, and that how they say things matter. That a lot of times people won't remember a lot, but they'll remember how you made them feel. So I hope that they are making the people around them feel special and loved. I try to tell them all the time that life is pretty simple, it's just not easy. So they're going to experience failure and heartache and not so nice people. And the only way to get through that is to remember, especially when someone is being unkind, that it typically doesn't have anything to do with them. It has to do with the other person. And you'll hear hurting people hurt people. And, it doesn't make any of it feel better if someone's not kind to you. But if you can just live your life trying to do the right thing, and when you screw up, which everybody screws up, and I do want them to know that no one's expecting you to be perfect. No one is expecting you to never get in trouble, to never fail, because that just happens. But it's so important when it does to acknowledge it, to admit the things that you could have done better, and then let them go. you know, and that's coming from me as a 40-something, you know, and this is the advice I would have given myself, and I wish somebody had been able to give me, is that all of that stuff that you carry, and when things seem so big and so much bigger than they really are, you know, if you can just look at your part in it, take responsibility when you need to, and then let it go.